Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Quantum Leap market preview and trade plan setup for Friday, August the 30th, 2013. It is a holiday weekend coming into Labor Day weekend. For those that don't know me and are visiting from Twitter, my name is Doug McKay. I'm one of the moderators for Quantum Leap Trading. Quantum Leap is a private chat room that's been around for about 4 years now. We are a group of retail traders coming together each day to trade together, talk about the markets, and we do our market review and homework each morning. And we'll talk about that later on. But let's get right to the morning session. Need to get the legals out of the way. This information is for the purpose of educating members who want to expand their knowledge of the business of trading. It's not for trading or investment advice. Only you are responsible for the trades or investment decisions you make. Trading futures or any instrument involves risk or loss. Please consider carefully whether futures or options are appropriate to a financial situation. Only risk capital should be used when trading futures or options. Investors could lose more than initial investment. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results. All right, so each morning we come in, we start with the basics, and I know, some, people have questioned, why do you do this each morning and you don't get deep into the charts until about 15 minutes in? Well, we need to create a proper routine each morning, and my routine consists of taking a look at the basic numbers, reminding me where the key levels are, and it's more the repetition of doing it every day that I don't have to think about the numbers. I don't have to look at my sheets. The numbers just start popping up. Same thing as when we go in and we do the analysis on the macro to the micro basic chart setups. We want to see where we are sitting within the trends within the different time frames. So I know it's cumbersome, but it's something that we have to do. There is no shortcuts in trading. You've got to create a proper routine, and this is my routine. So you have to sit through it. I do the same thing every morning. So let's start. Yearly numbers, nothing changes. Still the high at 1705. Still believe this is a weak high. We're way above our open and our low for the year. Our month open, 1685.50. Our month high is our year high, our all-time high at 1705. We have a month low at 1624.75. Previous month we opened at 1600 and a quarter. We had a high at 1695.50 and a low at 1593.25, and we closed at 1685 and a quarter. The week open, we opened the week at 1660.75. We have a week high at 1667.50, and that's 2 ticks above that significant CLVN, by the way. We have a week low at 1624.75. Our previous week open was 1651. Previous week high 62.75. Previous week low 31.50, and we closed at 61 and a quarter. And I'd keep an eye on this 31.50 today. Nothing changes in our quarterly numbers, so we'll go right to the intraday. Yesterday's session opened up on Globex at 1630.50, had a high of 1638.75 and a low of 1627.75. And we opened the RTH at 1629.50. We had an open rejection reverse, and by the way, I did talk to FT last night, and he responded that this was a classic open rejection reverse. So that conversation yesterday, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but I'll take it from somebody. I thought it was an open rejection reverse because we went down and tested that 28 and a quarter and rejected off of that. And that was, that LVN as well as the naked close that we had taken out the day before. We broke the IV to one side for a normal variation. Our opening swing high, 1631. Remember we were saying watch that 1631, 3150 area. And the opening swing low was 1628 and a quarter, which was that other LVN and the prior close that we took out. Our opening swing was 2 3/4 point, showing that we were likely to have a rotational day. That's exactly what we ended up with. Our initial balance high, 39.75. Initial balance low, 28 and a quarter for 11.5 point value area. So that was a larger than normal. In fact, I was worried that we would take a while to break the IB to the upside or downside. I didn't think we'd break inside of the pocket like we did. And I thought that, because we opened up in value, that we'd have a real choppy day. It was pretty choppy. Our 1230 number, 1640 and a quarter, was higher. We had a higher RTH high at 1644.75, a higher RTH low at 1628 and a quarter. Our close was 1636.75, and we had a VPOC shift late in the day at 1636.50, which is 1 point below our microcomposite VPOC at 1637.50. Our range for the day, 16.5 on the RTH, 17 on the full session, and 11 on the Globex. Our full session high, 1644.75. Our full session low, 1627.75. And that 44.75 was one tick above where one of our main targets was. If you look at the review of the recording yesterday, we talked about that 44.50 becoming a predominant composite high volume node in the blunt area of the composite as we mature that area. Our 20-day ATRs are running just over 13 on the RTH, just over 15.5 on the full session, and just over 9.5 on the Globex. Globex open last night was 1639. Globex European cash close at our 1030 number. Everything in here is in central numbers. 1643.75 for the European cash close. Our value area high 43. Our value area low 35.50. They are both higher, and we're kind of finding some consolidation here. And we had a 7.5 point value area range. We did break the IB to the high side inside of the pocket. We run a time study on the break of the initial balance, and we have found that you have a high probability of breaking the IB to one side within the first 15 minutes that it's set. And that's what we call a make and break, or breaking inside of the pocket. Our extended session high, 1638.50, extended session low, 1636.50, and we settled at 1635 and a quarter for a 2 point extended session range, which is running higher than our 20-day, which is at 1.39. Our volume was heavy again yesterday at 1.4 and 1.7 respectively. Going over to the daily report, nothing. We had an inside, rotational day, so nothing really shifts. 3750 is going to be a key factor here. 67 is still the number above. 29 below us, and then 1575. Brought in a couple new microcomposite LVNs, but nothing really changes dramatically. And then the two significant LVNs I'm watching today is 4175. And that was that swing high that we couldn't seem to break through in the afternoon, and it created a LVN there. And then we have 1634, which is just below the current microcomposite balance at 3750. Going over to the naked crosses, we took out naked cross on the 15-minute at 35.50 and on the 30-minute at 33, and we added one at 16.34. This has now been taken out overnight, and we'll review our naked crosses and put them on our trade chart this morning. We did take out the naked VPOC at 34, and then we added yesterday's VPOC near the end of the day at 1636.50. Going to the news. We had Canadian GDP, we had core index, personal spending, personal income already completed, and then we have the FOMC. Bullard speaking. We've got Chicago PMI at 845. We've got University of Michigan consumer sentiment, and revised inflation expectations. So we do have some news coming in the morning. Although coming in to Friday, Labor Day weekend, I imagine it's going to get pretty boring as we move through the day. Going over to the macro to the micro charts, take a look at where we are in the trend on the different time frames. Monthly trend very much intact, still trading within the middle of the distribution of last month. We've got good separation on the 9 EMA and the 20 SMA. We've got good slope and prices paralleling the 9 nicely, so the trend is very much intact on the monthly. Again, we've come down and we continue to test this 20 SMA. You can see that since we started the year, we have not had a close below the 20 SMA on the weekly yet, but we continue this week to test it, and this could be the first week that we see a close below the 20 SMA, depending on whether or not we get a holiday drift up or whether or not they continue to push down and the bears try to take control. But we do have this head and shoulder pattern possibly setting up, so just keep an eye on that. Going to the daily. Daily shows a different picture. We've rolled over, we've come down, we've created the first tech gap on the daily, come up and closed it, tried to hold above it, fell back down below the 9 EMA and created a second little tech gap. Now we've come back up and tested the 9 from below again, and we've rejected it so far. And we've got good slope and good separation on the 9 and the 20, so the daily trend has weakened and is showing a start of a downward trend. Going over to the geometric chart, I've got 3 pitchforks here that I've been tracking. This one we've been tracking for quite some time. We've come up and tested, tried to break above the center line of the upward sloping fork, rejected it, came down, came back up, made a lower, didn't get back up to the line again, came all the way down to the lower line of the upward sloping fork and broke out, tried to get back inside, couldn't hold back inside and fell back out. Now in terms of the downward sloping fork, we've come down off of the upper line and we're possibly coming down to the center line. The test of the center line is going to give you a test of the monthly trend line and bring us down into that 1580 to 1590 area. And that is still within a normal retracement and does not violate the overall long-term or macro trend that we're in. But I also added this new fork, which is a modified shift, and we've been tracking that pretty nicely. Got good frequency, and we've come off the bottom. All 3 forks create a energy point that is up here in the 1678 and 1679, and that is my main target above right now. So if we maintain this, respect to this new upward sloping fork, I would expect us to come up and test this energy point of all 3 forks. Going over to look at the intraday, where are we in the trend in the intraday? You can see that we're starting to trend down on the 4-hour. We found some balance down here, and we're consolidating, and now we're drifting up into the holiday weekend. We are trading just slightly above the 9 EMA on the 4-hour. We keep coming down and testing this 20 SMA. We do have some separation happening, but we don't have any slope right now, so 4 hours kind of inconclusive on where we're actually heading in terms of the trend. The 1 hour, we started trending up, but we lost slope and separation there as well, and we've broken back below the 9 and the 20, and currently are consolidating. So nothing really showing us which direction we have coming into the RTH. Just going down one more, go down to the 15-minute. The 15-minute is looking weak as well, and we're trading below the 9 and the 20, and we're starting to get a little bit of separation. So really a mixed bag of where they're going to take this morning, so we really just have to let it play out and keep it tight and light. On the composite, of course, we've been watching and talking about this blunt area on the composite, basically all the way up to the key CLVN above at 67 and the key below at 29 1/4. and we've been chopping around in what was a very blunt area, which is now becoming more mature. We're getting some definitive value at 58, 50-50, 43.75. It shifted. It was 44.50 yesterday, and then the 37.50, which is also our microcomposite VPOC from the last 3 days of balance, and then below that, the other side of balance, you have the CLVN at 29. I'm expecting going into the holiday weekend that we are going to chop around. If we do get some selling pressure, you want to watch the break of 29.25. And below 29.25, then I'd be looking for a rotation down to test the range low of the microcomposite at 24.75 and come down into the CHVN at 25, 23.25, but the big target below is at 20.25. And again, that 7-5 template day that we keep reviewing, let me just bring it up here so you can see it. This is the template day that I'm looking at. This is from 7-5-13. You can see we've got a double distribution day, and the significant LVN is right at that 16.15.75, which is the next key CLVN that we've got on the composite. And then we've got the 16.19. That is a naked VPOC that is just below our microcomposite naked VPOC at 16.20.25. Value area high is at 26. Value area low is at 14. So if we get below 29, I'll be watching how it plays against this particular. And you can see that 24.25, which is right there at the low of our microcomposite balance area, is also the first significant LVN that I'd be watching for. If we stay above 16.29, I'm expecting chop between 37.50 and this 43.75, 44.50 area, and then 46. If we get above there, I'd be looking for a move back up into test the value area low at 47.50 on the last microcomposite. If we get inside of there, look for a drift up into 55 into the weekend. But I'm expecting we'll probably get some sideways action, and we probably won't get much movement through here. Let's go take a look at the overnight and get our numbers shifted over to our intraday chart. So overnight high so far, let me just get rid of these. All right, so overnight high we have 45, which is going to correlate perfectly. It's right there with our range high, one tick above our yesterday range high. Why won't this go in? There we go. So 45 Globex high is one tick above our RTH range high. Currently our overnight low is 36.25. Which is one tick below our current VPOC, naked VPOC. Currently the Globex VPOC is 1638.50. And now we just want to add my naked crosses. I have a naked cross at 62.50 that I've already got on here, and one on the 15-minute at 41.75. And we just had a shift of the overnight VPOC by one tick down to 38.25. So currently right now we're trading right in around balance overnight. We're trading in this, this is kind of a real toothy area here. It was just a real choppy day yesterday. Once we made that big move up, and this was all part of our hypothesis yesterday, and I wasn't quick enough. We were late running in, and we had this big 10.25 point move up, and it was hard to jump into something that was already run away. And then we just drifted up towards that 4450 CHVN, which was our key area that we were watching above, and went sideways, and then just sort of drifted off and sold off. So in terms of trading this today, I'm going to be looking on the open to come down and take out the naked VPOC and overnight low and test the value area low at 3550. This 3550 to 3650 is a significant area for me, I believe. Then below that, our first LVN right here is 34. That is going to be an area that I'll be looking for a possible bounce or continuation to come down and repair this area. We've got a bit of a P-shaped profile going on here, which is short covering, but I'll be looking to come back down here if we break through that 34 to start testing and repairing this lower area with 31 area, which is now 3075 as the main target below. And then, of course, if we get continuation, a break below the RTH low at 28.25, and I'll be trading off of that area as well. And then if we break below that, then I'd be looking for that test of the microcomposite range low, that 26 area that we talked about, which is the value area high of the template day, and the main target, of course, is down there at that microcomposite VPOC at 20.25, 2050, and then the naked VPOC at 19.25. If we come down here and take out the overnight low, I'd be looking for them to find some buyers, some responsive buyers down here at this 34 to 35.50 area, and bounce from there, and then slowly drift up through the main body of this intraday profile. We've got a target just above at 41.75. This 41.75 keeps coming into play, and look to take out that naked cross and come up and complete the value area trade off of the value area low up to the value area high, which is currently at 43, and then a test of the overnight high and the RTH range, and above that, the first target above is that 47.50, which is the value area low of the microcomposite, and the main target being above at this 51 naked VPOC and naked cross at 51.75 with 55 and a naked close at 54. But I'm really expecting just a lot of chop in the open, and sideways horizontal development going into the weekend. Take a look at where we are in relation to the Keltner channel. We're currently trading in the lower distribution, and our center line of the Keltner is 1640, which is just below that 41.75. Our Keltner channel low test would be 34, which is right at the trade area that I'm looking at, and then our upper test is going to be 46.25, which would be just below that value area low. I'll be trying to find a trade in here, but really, my only two real trades that I can see on the big picture for me is up here at the range high, here at the 34, and down here at the 28. It's going to be really choppy in here, so I'm going to have to use the intraday information to take a trade in here. And really, I'm looking for a push down to take out the overnight low in the naked VPOC and test the value area low and this 34 on the open, and then see if the buyers can hold us up again, or whether or not we get capitulation into the end of the month and into the end of the week, and we go and make new lows and target that 1620 area to see if we can find some buyers down there. That's what I've got right now. Howard, over to you. We'll take a look at gold when you're done.
Thank you, Doug. Just taking a quick peek at the monthly chart. We have today is the last trading day of this month, forming a bearish dark cloud cover formation. After having 3 touches of this 20-year monthly fork pattern, we've gotten initial rejection off of that. Likely end up with a dark cloud cover unless we have a major sell-off today and we close below 1593 1/4. That would make it a bearish engulfing and potentially a key reversal. So looking at the week, and a monthly key reversal would be a very significant pattern if we get it, but it's not likely. So looking at the weekly pattern, this week we've moved below this weekly 20 SMA here, and we've been coming up. We're now above the 20 SMA, so 20 SMA looks to be holding as support. We'll see if that support holds for today, which ends the week. And the majority of the body of the weekly candle has been contained between the 20 SMA and the 9 EMA, with a brief, we opened above the 9 EMA, but tested above, rejected. Majority of the body is within these confines as it was in last week's candle. Moving to the daily. We tested the daily 9 EMA overnight and rejected. The potential is we've completed a 5-way pattern here and we're beginning a retracement here. I had targets at 1619 to 1622 right in this area here, and we came down to 1624.75, so less than 3 points away from my higher target. So it's potential that we're forming a bit of a retracement here. If it's a wave 2 retracement, then we would be looking at, bring that up here, retracement targets. If this is a wave 2 of between 1665 and 1674.5. So that would be the range I would be looking for if this is a wave 2. So moving on to our market breadth. So this is our Dow transports versus industrials, still moving in sync, nothing really to note here. Looking at our sectors, we have a little bit of a mixed picture. Looks like energy actually moved lower. Looks like technology moved lower and just beat out home builders for the seller. But we have retail, healthcare, and consumer discretionary at the top, all having modest rallies over the last couple days. A number of other sectors flat. So a little bit of a mixed picture among the sectors as you would expect during a consolidation or a retrace from trend. And looking at advanced declines, we see that they are, in a broad sense, getting stronger. We've come up about to the midpoint here on advanced declines on a 10-day average basis. Same with up-down volume. NASDAQ actually has gone just above the break-even 50% level on both advanced declines and up-down volume. So again, we see a bottom formed on these indicators on August 19th, ahead of the bottom in price, and we can see that market breadth became stronger after that point, and now we see the price in the market having made at least an interim bottom and now moving higher as well. So just like when these formed the top back here on July 9th, price did extend higher for a while longer, but this was kind of an indication that the top was weakening, and eventually we have had this move off the highs, until the last few days. So Doug, with that, that's all I've got. About 14 minutes to open. Turn it back to you.
Thanks, Howard. Well, we're making a little bit of a move. We've come up and tested up to this 1640 area again. We tried to get above the Keltner center line, but...
we're not seeing your charts yet, Doug.
Oh, sorry. There you go. See it now?
Yep, see it.
So we're making a little bit of move right now, a little bit higher, up to the 1640. We're testing that Keltner center line right now, trying to hold above it. But again, unlike Chad, I think this 36 area and the microcomposite VPOC has got to be your first target this morning. And then if we can hold this 34, then a bounce going higher. I just want to take a quick look at gold. Gold has broken down. Remember we said yesterday that a retracement of gold was within the cards. Bring in yesterday or today's volume. Our current microcomposite VPOC is still sitting there at that 1490.40, but they're coming down, and this was my target that I was looking for them to retrace back to, is this 1388.60 microcomposite VPOC that we broke out of. We're currently trading 1395. I'm expecting gold to come down here and chop around this 1388, with the lower target being down here at 1366.30. If we get back above the 1400 again, I would recommend you to get long again, and this time looking for a move to test the value area low at 1406.40 or was it 04 or 05? Sorry, 05.40, with the coming back into the main target, which would be the 1419.40, with the upper value area being at 1422.60, with that 1434 being our target again. That was our target with the move, or actually it was 1430.40 with the move above 1400 the last time. 1434 is our new target above, with the other side of balance being that 1439.90. If we get above there, then I'd be looking for continuation up to the next target, which is 1468.40. So that will complete the homework session and market preview for Friday, August the 30th, 2013. We're going to keep the room open again today. I'm only going to be trading, and I'm only going to be around. I'm going to be taking off early today, so we'll be trading up until about 11 o'clock Central Time, and then I'm expecting the market to, not do much after that. So I have some things I've got to do elsewhere, and stick around. For those that are not familiar with our room, this is our chat room, Quantum Leap Trading. It is a private Skype room. If you want to come and check it out, you can do so. You'll have to open a Skype account. Only takes a couple minutes to do that. It is free, and you can send me a contact info at Doug_McKay. I'll be the one from Windsor, Ontario, Canada, and I'll give you an invite into the Skype room. Next week we're going to be doing a couple presentations. We've got a Quantum Leap boot camp that we're going to be setting up for in September, probably the second or the third week of September. Boot camp is a intensive, 2-week course that has 14 webinars and some wonderful tool sets, and it really concentrates on the business side of trading and the mechanics and the tracking. We've got some wonderful tools that Howard has built, and if you're interested in finding out about that, look for the links on Twitter. My Twitter handle is at Crazy2, labeled Quantum Leap Trading, and watch for the links for that. Then we have 3 levels of our room. We have our regular chat room level, which is just the chat that also comes with the morning live market review that you're in today. We do this every day. And then also the QLTP. The QLTP is what is printed out from our homework sheet, and that gets printed and put into the main room each day. And what it does is have all these different key levels on it that you want to be watching based on multiples of different methodologies. There's pivot points, support and resistance, key numbers, naked crosses, naked VPOCs, CHVNs, CLVNs, LVNs, microcomposite LVNs. So it gives you an idea where to expect reaction to the market, and that's printed and put into the room each night by Howard. Level 2 is everything in Level 1 with the live room, and we started this live room last month. In the live room, you're going to see me trade 2 contracts. We wanted to keep it as close to real for most retail traders. So normally I'm a 6-lot trader. That's my comfort zone, but I've gone down to a 2-lot so you can follow along and see how you can still make money trading a 1 or a 2-lot. For the month, this was our first month. It's been an adjustment period. It's also been a very difficult area of the market to trade, but we have been able to, we're up to, I believe, the count for the month, and I'll be posting the month-end results, but we're up over 62 points for the month so far in the live room. And you're welcome to come in and check that out. We do put a guarantee, somewhat of a guarantee, in terms of the live room. My commitment to you, and it's on the honor system. If you want to come and check out the live room, it's $99 a month. That's 2 points in the ES, but if you don't make 2 points in the ES based on the information, the market observation that you see in the live room, your next month is free. So, really think it's a very fair and valuable plan. Anyway, the market's going to open in 7 minutes. I'm going to take a quick break, and then we'll come back and we'll start trying to find some trades.
Well, go ahead and stop the recording.
That will complete the homework session portion of our daily market review. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we will catch you on the flip side.